Good afternoon. Welcome to the February 25th, 2025 Commissioners Meeting of the New York State Public Campaign Finance Board. I'm Barbara Lifton, Chair, and I'm joined by Vice Chair Brian Kolb and Commissioners Keisha Gaskins-Nathan, Henry Berger, Esma Bagnola, Anthony Casal, and Peter Kuczynski. We also have some staff in the room, and it'd be great if we could go around the room. Why don't we start over here and introduce staff as well.
Hi, Kevin Murphy, State Board Counsel.
Jude Seymour, Deputy Director, Election Operations.
Daniel Bonsangwe, PCFB.
Kathleen McGrath, Director of Public Information from the State Board.
Bob Eccles, Deputy Director, PCFB.
Ann Tarpinian, Enforcement Counsel, PCFB.
Bill McCann, Counsel, PCFB.
Carl Schulman, PCFB.
Brendan Lavello, Deputy Executive Director.
Raymond Riley, Co-Executive Director, State Board.
Kristen Zabrowski-Stavisky, Co-Executive Director, State Board of Elections.
Tom Conley, Deputy Executive Director, State Board.
Cheryl Kauser, Co-Director, PCFB.
Aaron Suggs, Counsel, PCFB.
Brian Connor, Enforcement Counsel, PCFB.
Jennifer Wilson, Deputy Director, Public Information Office, State Board of Elections.
Brian Quayle, Counsel, New York State Board.
Thank you all. We'd like to begin our meeting with an executive session for the purpose of enforcement matters. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
We have a motion, a second. We have a second. All those in favor of going into executive session?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We will now adjourn and go into executive session. We have ended executive session, coming back into our public session. During executive session, on the request of PCFB Enforcement Counsel pursuant to Election Law 14-2078, on a motion denominated ES 0-01-2025, authorize the opening of an investigation. Vote in executive session was unanimous. Say the other part. We also authorized. Is that also part? Okay. Yeah, we also authorized in executive session the issuance of a subpoena in order to further that investigation. Now we'd like to take up the minutes from December 9th, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second, all in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you all very much. I turn to Cheryl Kauser and Carl Zielman for unit updates, starting with Cheryl Kauser today.
Commissioner. Good afternoon, Commissioners, and welcome to the February 25th meeting of the Public Campaign Finance Board. Today, we will be providing an overview of the activities carried out by the Public Campaign Finance Unit. The PCFB program has been operational since November 9th, 2022, and we have recently completed our first cycle with the November 2024 election. The program was implemented on time and successfully issued payments to eligible participating candidates while safeguarding public funds by conducting audits on committees. Since the program's launch, PCFB staff has delivered ongoing training to candidates and treasurers, conducted outreach to increase awareness of the program, performed bank reconciliations, audited disclosure reports, processed public fund payments, and conducted enforcement actions. We appreciate their dedication to the program's success as we engage in post-election work and continue to plan and implement the program ahead for the 2026 election cycle, which will cover 217 offices, including the 4 statewide offices of governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and comptroller, in addition to the 213 legislative offices. For a brief overview on the 2024 program, we issued the required end-of-cycle report outlining the implementation of the first cycle of the program. The report can be found on our website at pcfb.ny.gov. Some highlights of the report are that the program was implemented on time, experienced large participation in state legislative races, and provided candidates running for state legislative office with over $35 million in public matching funds. The total primary funds dispersed was $9.3 million for the primary and $25.7 million for the general election. The program had 328 total participants in the cycle, with roughly a 70.5 overall state legislative committees having registered in the program. The majority of program participants, or 83%, were successfully able to achieve ballot access. 75% of all program participants in the primary election received public matching funds. 59% of general election program participants received public matching funds. The report also details program participation based on party affiliation and participation rates for incumbents and challengers. And it also details recommendations that we will look into to improve the program as we proceed in the new cycle. We encourage anyone watching to review the report. For the 2025-2026 budget, the executive budget proposal recommends fully funding the New York State Public Campaign Finance Board request for a budget appropriation of $114.5 million for the state fiscal year 2025-2026 to support staffing, services, and public matching fund payments. This represents a flat funding request for state fiscal year 25-26. To itemize it, it's $8.7 million to employ a staff of 118 full-time equivalents, approximately $5.7 million in non-personal service appropriations to support state board and public campaign finance, software acquisition and development, which would automate auditing and payment for public matching funds while also enhancing legacy infrastructure throughout the state board. $100 million in aid to localities funding that would support public matching fund payments. There were no proposed Article 7 legislation impacting the board, and there were no 30-day amendments proposed impacting the program. One House budget bills have not yet been posted. In terms of outreach this year, the board presented to the League of Women Voters in Rochester chapter in January, and we're scheduled to present to the New York City Bar Association's Election Law Committee in March. Our training team will be posting a series of trainings, including introduction to the PCFB, candidate and treasurer specific trainings. Topical trainings are being created to provide more assistance to our treasurers. Council's office is also updating the handbook, and we're working on accrediting a CLE for this cycle.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, Cheryl. Commissioner. Currently, PCFB is post-election auditing is underway. PCFB held a lottery drawing to determine the 30% of committees required to undergo a post-election audit. 52 candidates from the Assembly, 43 candidates from the Senate were selected. In addition, any committee that received over $500,000 automatically makes this entire district, that entire district, undergo a post-election audit. Those districts that fall into this category are Senate District 6 and 7. The full results of the lottery drawing are posted on our website. That's at pcfbny.gov. In addition, PCFB staff is underway in conducting several other reviews at this time based off of the 2024 election cycle and those committees that participated in the program. This includes an election cycle over contribution review. For those who receive public matching funds, we are conducting bank reconciliations, reviewing qualified campaign expenditures, and conducting the surplus calculation. For those that have been selected in the lottery, in addition to those points mentioned above, an extensive post-election audit will be underway for each one of those selected committees. The PCFB is currently selecting registrations and applications for the 2026 election cycle. In addition to legislative offices this year, as Cheryl previously mentioned, we'll have on in the program Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, and Comptroller. As of this morning, there are 40 committees registered in PCFB for the 2026 election cycle. The breakdown is 19 in the state Senate, 17 in the Assembly, 3 statewide committees, and 1 undeclared committee. In this cycle, 2026, PCFB will be implementing a debate component for the statewide offices. Just like to touch upon our staffing levels in PCFB at this time. The PCFB has the authority to hire 118 full-time personnel. To date, we have hired 67 of the 118 available. We continue to post and conduct interviews for trainers, auditors, enforcement personnel, and committee liaisons. PCFB, we continue to work with the state board and the vendor MTX Group on the software procured for the program. The state board will have additional information on the software program. As of now, for PCFB, our focus has been on the public reporting and internal automation for our public campaign finance audits. For the calendar that we've been provided, the goal is to have the internal component ready for PCFB staff for the 2026 election cycle, and for the end user software to be implemented for the 2028 cycle. I'd like to touch upon our reporting enforcement. With the January 15th periodic that was due last month, we had 34 late filers. The next filing will be July 15th, 2025. In the media, the Brennan Center issued a post-election report titled New York State's Public Campaign Finance Program Empowers Constituent Small Donors. In short, it stated that the inaugural run expanded legislative candidates' reliance on small donors. Finally, Commissioner, under new business, we will have 5 resolutions that can be found in the Commissioner's board packets, and they are labeled Resolution 2501 through 2505.
Thank you very much to both our co-directors. Any discussion or questions on these 2 reports from anyone?
Congratulations on getting up and running in a relatively short time frame. And, it seems from everything I've seen and read that the first cycle was even more successful than we had anticipated, with many more participants and a real significant increase in small dollar donors, which was the goal of the program. So thank you both and thank your staffs.
Thank you, Commissioner.
We all echo those sentiments. Thank you. Thank you, Henry, and thank you to all the staff, to our co-directors and all the support staff throughout the building, throughout the halls here. Thank you all. With no old business, we'll move to new business. First, we have a resolution 25-01, which would extend the authority provided to the co-directors to make certain payments of public funds for the 2026 election cycle with notice provisions to the board. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 25-01?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor? Say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Let's take up resolution 2502, which would provide authority to Enforcement Council to issue routine notices of enforcement to late and non-filers with notice provisions to the board. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 25-01?
So moved.
Have a
Second.
We have a second. Thank you very much. All those in favor,
Aye.
please.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Again, a unanimous vote in favor of that resolution. We have 3 enforcement-related resolutions to accept. 1 to authorize notices of enforcement from the 2024 election cycle, 1 to accept late filer settlement agreements, and 1 to close a complaint. I'd like to take them up as a package. Do I have a motion to do so?
So moved.
Thank you. Brian, a second?
Second on all 3.
Herger, second. 3. All in favor of this entire package, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No one in opposition, a unanimous vote on all 3 resolutions. Thank you very much. Thank you all. That concludes new business. If there is no other business, I'd like to coordinate our next meeting date to coincide with the State Board of Elections. That tentative date is April 28th, 2025. Do I have a motion to end this meeting?
Move to adjourn.
And do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor of adjourning the meeting, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Again, unanimous vote. Thank you all very much. Motion is passed to adjourn. Thank you all for attending the meeting. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you all.
Thank you.